Andie Donnan. She's one of the co-founders of Sand Hill Farm. And this is a lovely spot. We're out here in Sinsinawa, and you've got this lovely little organic farm here. Tell me a little bit about it.
So my partner Ashley Nisus and I grow diversified vegetables on 1 acre. We grow over 40 different annual crops. So from potatoes to head lettuce to cherry tomatoes. We also grow some flowers for fun, but also for beneficial insects. So because we're organic, a lot of what we do is to encourage habitat for the good guys, just like the goldfinch do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, as I'm out here, I'm seeing a lot of birds. I'm seeing a lot of pollinators, a lot of different kinds of butterflies. So being able to build that ecosystem, that's an important part of organic farming.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it certainly is for us because we're a real small scale. A lot of what we do is all human-powered hand tools. We don't use a tractor to move the soil or to even cultivate, so all of that's done by hand. So a lot of what we do is really intensive and intentional. So creating that ecosystem is important for us because even if we're organic, we still choose not to spray anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really labor intensive.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, and I think there's some changes that we'll make in the future to maybe figure out how to add tractor for some cultivation, but it certainly isn't going to like take away our values for like keeping things organic and creating like beneficial habitats.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about some of your produce here.
So this right here is one of our temporary caterpillar tunnels, actually, because it kind of looks like a caterpillar. But we grow cucumbers in here. So we have snacking cucumbers and slicing cucumbers. And essentially, we put this up and we covered it with a type of netting to keep cucumber beetles out. And we've actually had some really good results this year. So we're pretty satisfied with that. This is going to be some of our fall broccoli over here to the west. We grow a lot of broccoli in the fall, like arugula, and we do a lot of spinach, things like that. And over here to the east, we have another succession of green onion, everyone's favorite cilantro. We do like a cut again, it's like salad. We have dill, leeks, and we have some Napa cabbage. So we really grow quite a variety of vegetables.
Yeah. So I see you down at the Farmers Market in downtown Dubuque, but also you're at the Millwork Night Market as well. Tell me a little bit about the Farmers Market experience in Dubuque.
The Dubuque Saturday Farmers Market's been really good for us. We've been selling there for 8 years. We're near the corner of 11th and Iowa. And then the Millwork Night Market's been this really unique experience too, because I'm also a co-founder of the Millwork Night Market. So that's once a month. It's a nice way for our farm to get a little bit more sales. We kind of gain a different customer base. And at the same time, it's just really nice. It's really fun. It's like once a month, I kind of get to do something different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I find the Dubuque Farmers Market, it's a lively experience. A lot of people who aren't necessarily there to grocery shop, it's still great to walk around. A lot of interesting vendors and food items. But then the night market, it's also just, it's almost a big party as well.
Yeah, kind of is. I mean, in some way that was kind of our intention. You know, we really wanted people to feel like there was another place that they could support local entrepreneurs, so crafters, artists, farmers, and then also like local restaurants. You want to serve food down there, so you can shop, you can get something to eat, you can grab a beer, which is really unique, and then you see a live band for free. So it's really nice. I think it's important to us to add that kind of nightlife to the Dubuque scene.
Oh yeah.
And it really does seem like the community has been receptive of what we're doing. We're always looking for new vendors. I think it's also, the night market is unique because it's once a month. So it's an easier commitment for someone who's like just starting out. Maybe they're just starting to make cupcakes or chocolates. It's an entry-level thing for people. I can't tell you how many vendors we have down there that actually have, that was the first thing they started with, and then they've kind of branched off and they've expanded or they've changed what they're doing, and maybe they don't do market anymore. Maybe they got a brick and mortar.
Yeah, that's great. I love the idea of incubating ideas and or, businesses. That's really, really important. Get people's feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so you're doing the market things, but you're also doing CSAs, community supported agriculture as well. Tell me a little bit about that side.
So that's something that Ashley and I plan like in the spring, the early winter and early spring. And essentially people pay ahead at the start of the season. So they can get a weekly box, a bi-weekly, or a monthly box. And we have 2 different sizes. And they pay ahead. It's kind of like a line of credit for our farm in some way. These people are helping us get started for the season. They're helping us buy implements. They're helping us buy tools. They're helping us buy seeds, potting mix, the start of some of our labor costs. And then by June, they start to receive those vegetables. So we span it over the course of 18 weeks. Then we take a break, and then we do our fall CSA. And then that goes all the way to Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And then we sell Thanksgiving boxes. And then we do the Dubuque Winter Farmers Market, and then we take a break. So yeah, the CSA is important because those people are able to support us financially, but they're able to support a farmer.
Right.
We have a lot of really beautiful and special relationships with those people. You know, I think that's a different element of the CSA, is like people actually get to know their farmer. Like we send out an email every week telling them how our life is, like what's going on at the farm and what are you gonna have in your box. So it's like a really seasonal experience too, because each week the vegetables tend to vary as things go, like as they arrive and as they leave, you know?
That's one thing I love about CSAs is the variety. You know, sometimes I'll get an item in a CSA box and I'm like, I've never cooked this. I don't know if I've even eaten this before, but now I have it in my home. I'm gonna find a recipe that's gonna work for me and my family and just expose me to something new.
Yeah, that's really great about the CSA. And you know, we do like a swap box. So in the case that people are like, oh, I'm nervous about doing a CSA, you know, what if there's things I don't like? We have the box that we preload and people can kind of swap out items they may or may not want. And then it kind of customizes it just a touch so that we can kind of meet them where they're at.
Yeah, well, that's really important, but also a business like this, it's important to know where your food is at and getting it sourced locally with people you know and trust. That's huge.
Yeah.
So you've been part of Farmers Market. You had a really heavy hand with co-creating the Millwork Night Market, but also you worked downtown at the Farmers Market in downtown Dubuque quite a bit.
Yeah, actually the first 2 years before Ashley and I started our farm, I was the on-site manager, and Ashley was actually the on-site manager the 2 years before that. So I took over Ashley's position, and I really got acquainted what it's like to actually manage a market and deal with vendors, kind of build relationships, and at the same time I was really getting to know like who these farmers were, who these people were. And I had an idea of like, wow, like, let's do something different. Let's do something totally different. Let's have people walk down the center of the street instead of the sidewalks. Let's have beer, and let's have more art.
Yeah.
Right, instead of just crafts. So I knew Danielle, and I reached out to her and I said, hey, I got this idea. Like, do you want to help me start this evening farmers market? And so we did. So as we started that adventure, you know, I kind of like poached some of the vendors that I had close relationships with, and I asked them like, was this something you'd be interested in? Like, would you do this? And there was great, like, people received it well. So when we started in 2017, we just did September and October. We just kind of gauged it. We took the whole year to plan just for those 2 months, and Dubuque was like, heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
People showed up, the vendors had a great time, and then in 2018 we started from the beginning, and we actually started in April.
Oh, wow.
And so we've made some changes over the years. You know, COVID had a lot to do with it, so we kind of shortened the time frame, and we shortened it from just May to October versus April to October.
Sure. Yeah, well, Andie, you're doing amazing work out here. Everything's looking great. We've had plenty of rain, so things are looking nice and green and beautiful. And congratulations, this is a really great spot.
Yeah, thanks for coming out here.